Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday, the 13th of October 2024. In today's Mill news, we're going to talk more about the international games that happen on Saturday. Not really any involving Millwall players on Sunday today. And then we're going to look ahead to tomorrow's games and the week ahead, because obviously it's the international break. We're talking about international players. And we're going to mention about the unfortunate what would you say? The loan spell of Connal Trueman, who shipped in more goals on Saturday. He's had an absolute mare, but apparently it's not his fault, and we'll have a read of that. So we start off with this from millfc.co.uk, who, fair play to them, have been putting up stories of all the players, and they did it the other day for Kelly and Amaku. And I thought, maybe they're just doing that because they're young players and they're trying to boost up their profile and stuff. But they've done it here for George Saville as well, who obviously he's been around the block a few times. He doesn't need his profile boosted. Saville claims another Northern Ireland cap. Yeah, George Saville started in midfield as Northern Ireland claimed a point in the UEFA Nations League against Belarus. Saville and his teammates were the better side on the night, indeed, because I did watch it. I watched most of the game. I think I missed the start of the second half as I bowed out at half time to watch something else and came back a bit later. But despite dominating the ball, they were unable to find the net and score a winning goal. Northern Ireland's match report is available here. The Green and White Army host Bulgaria on Tuesday night with kickoff set for 7:45 p.m. Again, that will be free to view on YouTube, and we'll look at that in a minute. We've actually got some pictures from the game. Cool. Yeah, poor old Northern Ireland. They've been looking for a decent striker since David Healy retired. They don't really have that. They had Josh McGuinness for a while. They need a striker who can score goals, and they just don't have that yet. And then they need to get goals from somewhere else, and they don't really get goals. So they kind of work off of a clean sheet first, and then maybe try and set pieces. But Saville was taking some of the set pieces, and I think Charles was taking some of the other set pieces. They were really poor. Really poor set pieces. I think one of the corners was good, but other than that, not really a lot to shout about. So we've got this from WhoScored.com. We can have a look at how George Saville did, what his stats were, and you can see here. So the man of the match, according to WhoScored.com, based on the ratings, obviously not on the eye, just on the ratings of the stats, is the Belarus goalkeeper. He got 8.56. So when the opposition goalkeeper gets the man of the match, you know what kind of game it is. It's park the bus and try and keep everyone out. And if we sort this by rating, so George Saville, 5th best player for Northern Ireland, 6.81, just under 7. He got subbed off on 82nd minute. He had 2 key passes, 43 passes, 90.7% accuracy, 5 crosses, 2 accurate crosses, 5 long balls, 3 accurate long balls. Defensively, he had 1 tackle, 1 clearance, and he gave away 2 fouls. So you can't really do a lot of defending if the opposition isn't attacking. And defensively, he had 1 shot which wasn't on target. As you mentioned, 2 key passes, got fouled twice going forward. And so there you go. But if we look and see just how many shots Northern Ireland had, 15 shots? They had 15 shots, and you can see here, look, the guy Jamie Reid. He was only on the pitch for 75 minutes. He had 5 shots and 4 were on target. Like, bruv, it's international level. If you've got 4 shots on target, you need to score one of them. You need to do something like that. And there's a player here who, I don't know why he didn't go on earlier, Lee Bonis. He looks pretty decent, although I think this might be a step up too far. But then you got Josh McGuinness, so he's still there. He's 34 years old. He's on the bench. They didn't think to bring him on. They brought on the other guy, and they then didn't get the win. So there you go. And now the 2 other Millwall players from yesterday, technically a Millwall players, Kevin Nisbet, who's finally made it into the Scotland squad, and he was on the bench for the whole game. They started with Dykes and they replaced him on 77th minute with Adams. Against Croatia, they lost 2-1. So Kevin Nisbet, number 19, didn't really get off the bench. And for the other game, Serbia versus Switzerland, obviously Mitrovic there, superstar, still a really good player, even though he's gone to Saudi Arabia. And he started up front, so Ivanovic for the subs for Serbia on the left-hand side. Number 18, Mihailo Ivanovic, didn't get on the pitch. Even though they were 2-0 up, they probably could have brought him on in injury time just to give him a taste of it. But no, just stuck with the team and just saw the game out. So there you go. Now, just recalling what we've still got to come, because that's the first round of games have been done. We now got the second round of games coming up, starting this week. Most of the games are on Tuesday. So Ivanovic, Spain versus Serbia is on Tuesday. George Saville, Northern Ireland versus Bulgaria. I assume that's in Belfast. I don't know if anyone over there want to go to that game. Daniel Kelly, his game Kazakhstan versus Scotland under 21s. That game is on YouTube, and we'll look at that in a minute. Edomi Maku's second game, Italy versus Ireland under 21s. Massive game for them, absolutely massive game for them, and even more so because they got a late draw. They got pegged back in a draw by Norway right at the death. They were needed to win that game. They didn't. But first up is Romain Esse. Tomorrow, Monday, Czechia versus England. And that game is... This is from DoncasterRoversFC.co.uk. It's being held at Doncaster at the Eco Power Stadium. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff. You go there, you buy your tickets. It costs £5 to get in for full adults, and then the concessions are £3 and £1. So if you're in that area, I mean, maybe go and check it out. But as I said the other day, because this isn't a competitive game, I don't think, maybe it is, but they rotate the squads. They can make up to 11 substitutions. So because Esse started the last game, I think in this one he'll be on the bench, so you might not get to see him that much. I think they generally do bring him off the bench, like they do make a ton of substitutions, because it's not really an official game at under 20s level. It is at under 19 and it is at under 21, but under 20 it's not really. But they've started to do it because it's effectively an under 21 B team, to be honest with you. So that's at Doncaster Rovers if you wanted to check that out tomorrow. It's not going to be on TV, but what is on TV, or what is being shown for you to watch, there's a whole host of games on Monday on YouTube. But first up, 5 o'clock on Tuesday, Kazakhstan under 21s versus Scotland under 21s. That's going to be on Scotland National Team YouTube channel, so you can watch Daniel Kelly if he plays in that. He didn't start the last game against Belgium. He may start this game because I think Kazakhstan probably not the best of teams really, so that might be a game that he might start in. And in terms of the other games, obviously Northern Ireland versus Bulgaria, or Viaplay International YouTube, you can watch that. Scotland versus Portugal, if Kevin Nisbet is involved in that. Spain versus Serbia, if Mihailo Ivanovic comes off the bench. But I mean, that's Spain. That's a big game for them, you know. If they do bring him off the bench, it'd probably be due to injury or something like that. So there you go. But it's all available for you to watch, and that's it for the week ahead, the international break. And after that, on the Wednesday, that's it. They all start flying home, and we're done with the international break, and we can start looking forward to Derby County at home. Now moving on to this from Sussex World via MSN.com. Crawley Town opinion: 6 goals but no rewards for the Reds. Yes, I should have known it was going to be a strange night when the steward asked me if I knew where I was going. We didn't concede early and looked as if we could go on and cement our place in the knockout rounds, but then, just as the first half was coming to a close, we left Maycock unmarked at the far post, and despite having most of the first half possession, went in 1 goal down. In goal was emergency loan keeper Connal Trueman from Millwall, who played really well throughout, and was not at fault for any of the goals. Yes, in the EFL Trophy game, they lost 4-3. Unbelievably, within 12 minutes of the second half starting, we found ourselves 3 goals down, again through defensive errors, with the goals coming from Stevens and James. You may have heard of him, Tilly. It seemed as though we were in for a terrible evening, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So they ended up losing. They got it back to 3-3 and then ended up losing 4-3. Positives: not conceding early in the first half, plus the effort by the team put in to come back from 3 down. The positive attitude and respect shown by the supporters to the team throughout the game and the final whistle. And then there was Saturday. More sloppy goals conceded, or should that be sloppy? But once again, 3 goals scored at home. So they ended up losing 5-3 at home to Shrewsbury Town. 2 of those goals from Shrewsbury were scored by John Marquis. Remember him? The question must be, how do you score 6 goals at home over 2 games and not gain any points? I don't believe that Connal Trueman was in any way to blame for the 2 defeats, and neither do I think it was down to a lack of effort from the players on the pitch. I watched Robbie's after-match interview, and most of it I agreed with, but either the question wasn't asked or it was edited out. Why did we make the substitutions when we did, and why remove the most effective players? So there you go, he's blaming the substitutions. So yeah, even though Connal Trueman conceded 9 goals in 2 games, not at League One level. At League One level, they're not really blaming him. And to be fair, this is the stats from WhoScored.com from that game. It was 1-1 at half time. So you can say, if we have a look and see what happened in that game. No, not this one. This one. So it's 1-1 at half time. Crawley actually go 2-1 up. And then it looks like the manager makes some changes. I don't know the team, so I don't know if these are attackers and defenders or who they are. They go 2-1 up. Is he trying to bring on players to shore it up to defend? As we know in previously with Millwall teams under Neil Harris and Gary Rowett, when you go a goal up and then you try to defend for 30 minutes, you generally come unstuck. It's kind of a stupid thing to do, especially in this day and age where the opposition have 5 substitutions to make. And if you just defend, they will replace 5 of their attacking players, bring fresh legs on, and you end up getting screwed. So that you can see they make the changes. 10 minutes later, they make the changes and look, boom, 2-2, 3-2, penalty, 4-2, 5-2. But here's the thing, they did have a player sent off. So Crawley had a player sent off, then they scored, so you imagine, okay, because they had a player sent off, they've took the lead, he's trying to hold on to it. Didn't really work. But, I mean, damn, bro. All of these goals conceded. That's insane. So if we go to have a little look and see... Oh, which one are we going on? We're going on the wrong one again. This one. This one. So you can see here, Connal Trueman, number 1. 55 touches of the ball, passing accuracy 51.1. A rating of 5.16. That is... So he's just above the player who got red carded. So that player got a red card, which would have knocked his score. And I imagine if he didn't get a red card, he probably would have a score higher than Connal Trueman. So that's not good. And if we can look at Shrewsbury, how many shots did they have? 18 shots. They had 18 shots. They had 6 on target. So they had 6 shots on target. They scored 5 goals. Did a guy make any saves? So I can't show you the stats from the Bristol Street Motors Trophy game because they don't really bother about that. They don't really care. But I mean, damn, this is really bad. He had 2 clearances. He had 21 long balls. None of them are accurate. So he's kicking. I assume his goal kicks and other long balls were just... They didn't. Not one of them. Not one of the 21 found a Crawley Town player. But not only that, but it looks like he was busy. So if he had 45 passes, 21 long balls, that means he had 24 short balls. So he's having to do that stuff as well. Yeah, this was a bit of a nightmare. Bit of a nightmare loan for Connal Trueman. I think he's going to be glad to come back, but Crawley not the best teams in League One. They did have their squad kind of dissolve itself after they got promoted from League Two. Yeah, this is not good. Not good. So suggest like Connal Trueman 28. Is he a League One standard goalkeeper? He hasn't done well in the 2 games he played in League One. So that's not good. Now moving on to this from the sun.co.uk via reader mode. The story of Millwall fan dubbed the Lion of London Bridge for fighting off machete-wielding jihadis are set to become a movie. The story of a Millwall fan dubbed the Lion of London Bridge for fighting off machete-wielding jihadis is to be a movie. Roy Larner, 55, was awarded a bravery honour after he was stabbed 7 times confronting ISIS terrorists in 2017. And you can see, so he's pictured there with Leo Gregory. The guy on the left is going to play him in the movie. So there you go. That's him there from Hooligan Factory. He shouted "F you" on Millwall as he tried to prevent the 3 murderers from attacking customers in a steakhouse. And film rights to the book The Lion on the Bridge has been optioned by Dougie Brimson, who produced cult hits Green Street and Top Dog. Actor Leo Gregory, who starred in both those films and others including Hooligan Factory, will play Lions fan Roy. Filming is due to start next year. Former Sergeant Engineer Dougie, who served in the Falklands and First Gulf War, told The Sun, "As a veteran, I know a hero when I see one, and Roy is a hero. This is not just a story that needs to be told, it must be told. Roy saved an estimated 30 lives in a night by tackling the knife-wielding terrorists, yet his life since has not been plain sailing. The incredible story is made for cinema and will do Roy the justice he deserves. 8 people died and 48 were injured in the atrocity. Heroic bystanders of the London Bridge terror attack used a fire extinguisher and Nile tusk to chase down the attacker." No, that's... Who wrote that? That's wrong. That was a different guy. That was another fucking guy. That was a guy who killed 2 people inside. Was it the Smiths? Not Goldsmiths, some other Smiths building on the northern side of London Bridge by opposite Adelaide House, I think it's called. Is it Mermaid's Hall? Mermaid's Hall. So yeah, they were holding some fucking let's rehabilitate criminals, and one of them was a fucking jihadi. He decided to cut up the 2 people that were running the event, trying to help people. And then one of the other guys, he was a reformed prisoner. I think he's a murderer who got done for like killing a woman or something. Not good stuff, but you know, they took a fucking wow tusk off the wall and tried to go out and jab the guy, and took a fire extinguisher and sprayed him, and which is a clever idea because because of the law, health and safety, there are fire extinguishers everywhere, especially the black ones. Well, they're red, but the ones with black thing on, that's CO2. Because if you spray someone in the face with CO2, they cannot breathe, and if you can't breathe, you can't do fuck all. It's much like back in the day, you get told to someone, like, if you get the first punch in, punch him in the gut, because when you punch him in the gut, they can't breathe. Now everyone nowadays, they try and punch people in the jaw to get the knockout, because it's like TikTok, oh, it looks good on film. But you punch people in the gut and then they can't breathe because their solar plexus goes into a spasm, and then you can, like, they keel over and you just do another couple of bing bang bongs and out they go. But everyone's trying to get the old knockout punch on the chin. But there you go. Yeah, so I don't know, they've mixed these 2 things up. This is not the same one. This is the one that I think was in 2021. So yeah. But yeah, this is a film that's coming out. Obviously, they're filming it next year. I imagine it will come out in 2026. Don't know if it's going to be in a cinema, if it's for streaming services. But I think it's a film that we need to support when it does come out. And there you go. So it says the incredible story is made for cinema. So maybe they will put it. But obviously, I don't know if you know this, they shut down the local cinema. They shut down the Odeon Surrey Quays. So I think the next nearest cinema would be Peckham, Greenwich, What else? Maybe Aldgate. Yeah, there's two in Greenwich. The one in Greenwich Centre, and then there's one in the Bugsby's Way. Yeah, that's the nearest cinema now. They've shut it down. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.